We don't have the permission.
So yeah, so both you design the multiplier using combinational logic as well as sequential logic has its own advantage, right? Uh, so in case of an array implementation, whatever we have seen only using the combinational logic, we can observe that it's very straightforward and simple implementation, right? But whether the hardware is optimized, all those things, when you think about it, it becomes a question. Okay. So now we go to the combinational, I mean sequential logic, where in sequential logic, the information whatever we want to process, right, naturally it that also we have to give provision for that, right? So in this case, in general, what we use it as a storage device, anybody, and we want to store some information or data, what we rely on or what we use? Yes. What we use to store each and every number we have to process or the process to result?
Register.
Yeah, very good, Srivats. And the registers we use, and here how many registers we may require? Any idea? What are all the information we have to store here first? Can anyone tell me? See, the numbers we have here, and in general we represent it as the multiplier and multiplicand M and Q, right? So other than that, the results will be there, right? So in that case, how many registers we may be required?
Ma'am, slide is blank, ma'am.
Yeah, I know. When you people answer the question, I will write it there and repopulate. What are all the how many registers we may require? I told all the basic information is required for processing it. When we multiply, we have two numbers, right? And those two numbers we generally represent it as M and Q, and then we get the result. So how many registers we may be required here, and what can be the size of the registers?
8 bits.
8 bits, you mean the size of the register?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and how many such registers we may require?
3 registers, ma'am.
3 registers.
Sure.
Why you say is 3? Anybody?
MQ and result.
MQ and result. Okay. So when we to start with, we actually need registers of size n bits, right? Rather than we specifically say as 8 bit, right? When we say 8 bit, it becomes you can always, you are supposed to multiply only 8 bit numbers, but in the history we already discussed, like there is when the microprocessor started, it started with a 4 bit microprocessor, and now what we are having is a 64 bit microprocessor, right? So the word size whenever we process, that is definitely changing, and it depends upon what how many bit processor it is. Okay, so to come up with a generalized design, we take that we need n bit registers. Okay, and if it is an 8-bit processor, then that n will be 8, and if it's a 16-bit processor, then that n will be 16, and in case of a 32-bit processor, that n will be 32-bit, right? So that's one point you have to be clear with. And the second point is, actually we are supposed to store, first thing we need to store is the value of m and the value of q, right? These two values is what you have to store first. If it's an n-bit processor, naturally the value of m and q both are going to be n-bit, right? And if it's less than n-bit, we know that we will prefix it with zeros. Now, to store these two, definitely we need one register. So for storing m, we need one register, and for storing q, we need one register, one n-bit register, both are. Okay. Now, when we multiply two n-bit numbers, what will be the resultant size? When we add two n-bit numbers, what is the resultant size? Anybody?
N.
When we add
n multiplied to n.
Okay, who answered?
Srivatsan.
Srivatsan, okay. When we add, actually the result can be more than n also, right? For example, if I take two 4-bit numbers, right, and I am taking both numbers as f and a, right? When you add these two numbers, both MSBs are 1 1, right? The MSB values of both these are 1 1, so naturally there will be a carry, right, from your MSB position to the next position, there will be a carry. So when you add, actually your result is going to be n plus 1 bits. Okay, that's why in every processor there will be a flag bit called carry bit to indicate that there is a carry from the previous addition. Okay, and the same carry bit we also use to represent the subtraction. I mean, in subtraction, we use the same carry bit to represent the borrow, right? When the subtraction is not possible and we are trying to subtract, we use it to represent that there is a borrow and the result is a negative difference. Okay. Now, when it comes to the multiplication, resultant is going to be 2 n bits, right? When you multiply two n bit numbers, your resultant size is going to be 2 n bits. That means if you are multiplying 4-bit numbers, your result is going to be 8-bit. If you are multiplying 8-bit numbers, your result is going to be 16-bit. So here again we need space to store this double the sized result. Okay, so this again needs 2 registers for storing the result. So totally we need 4 registers minimum to store the input as well as the output, and some cases you may require additional registers for storing the intermediate results also. Okay, this is a general consolidation. Okay, but when it comes to designing, as engineer, we should always question that is there a possibility of reducing the hardware, right, and reducing the number of instructions you execute for achieving the same operation. All these questions should come then and there, right? Then only the optimization will take place. Okay. So when you do the coding, it should be a tight coding. There should not be even a single instruction. Once you have done with the coding, someone should not be able to eliminate even a single instruction from that without affecting the functionality. That's the type coding, right? And it has a lot of advantages, not only saving your memory requirement, it also stores the, it also saves the time required for execution. All there's so many parameters involved. Okay, that's why always type coding is preferred in case of software. And hardware also, we have to ensure that the minimum hardware is used without compromising any functionality, right? That's the optimization, and that's why we are here. Engineers are required only for that. Okay. So now we see how we are going to, is there a possibility of reducing, and how we are going to optimize and come up with the multiplier. Okay. And it's simply the logic of multiplication here. Again, it's the same simple logic of uh, shift and then add. Okay. In general, in the previous case, if you see, you will be adding and then shifting, right? First thing you will add here, and then when you do the next addition, you will do the shifting here. Instead of going for the 0th place, you will be going for the first place before you take the next addition. Okay. And that addition depends on whether the q value is 1 or 0. If the q bit is 0, you need not carry on the addition, and if q bit is 1, you have to carry on the addition. Okay. The logic remains exactly the same in the sequential multiplier also. Okay. So we need a minimum 4 registers for time being. We can conclude like we need minimum 4 registers, 2 for storing the input and 2 for storing the output. Okay. Now we go to the design. You can see here we have 3 registers here. One is register A, another is register Q, and another is register M. Okay. And in M and Q is where you are going to feed the inputs. Okay. This M will decide, the mux here will decide at any point of time whether the value of M should be added with the previous partial product, or 0 should be added. That means when there is no need of addition, right? When there is no need of addition, can anyone tell me? When there is no required to add here. We just discussed. Anyone? Soumya? Soumya, are you there? Soumya, are you listening or not? Mahendra, can you tell me? Roll number 18. If I'm not getting the response, that means you are not at the listening end. That case, I'll simply remove you from the meeting. If you are not even responding, there is no point in sitting in the class. Surya Teja, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Can you tell me whether, how do we decide whether value should be added or not? In multiplication, how do you decide? In binary multiplication, how do we decide whether m should be added with at the next stage or not?
Ma'am, no idea.
How it has been decided here? In this multiplier, how it has been decided? Surya Teja.
Yes, ma'am.
In this multiplier, how it has been decided? Or I show you the basic. Here you can see, figure out, and tell me how it has been decided whether m should be added or not. See, here what we do, we take each and every bit in the queue and check whether it is 1 or 0, and based on it we decide whether m should be added here or 0 should be added here, right? That's the
Yes, ma'am.
concept behind multiplication. So I told you the logic is not going to change, the logic remains the same, right? Only thing changes is the way we implement it. The logic will be remaining the same. The basic component, hardware components and the basic hardware components and the interconnection to achieve the function may be different, okay? But the basic logic behind implementing it will never change, okay? So we check on q, right? The each and every bit of q value we check, and if it is 1, m will be added to the next stage. If it is 0, then m will not be added, because when you multiply you get only zeros, okay? So either m will be added or zeros supposed to be added, okay? That is the basic logic, and that is not going to change here, right? Always the q value will decide, the q value will be used to decide whether m should be added or 0 should be added with the next stage, okay? So in A, initially what we do is we clear it, okay? We keep all zeros, right? And when we add the register m also an n bit register, register A also an n bit register. So when you add two n bit numbers, just we discussed, result will be an n plus 1 bit. To store that extra bit, we have one more flag register here, okay, called C. Okay, so initially we take a value 0 and then we load the m value in the register m, and we load the multiplier value in q, okay? So first, how do we decide whether the addition should be done with 0 or m value? We take the value of q naught, right? we take that value and the control sequence will check out what value it is. So if it is 1, it will say that addition should be taken place with m, and if it is 0, it will decide that addition should be taken with 0. Okay, so that is why based on the q value, the control sequence will take the q value. Based on it, the control sequence will provide the instruction of add or no add, right? And that will be used as the selection line for the mux. Okay, where in the mux, based on the control signal received, either m will be sent or 0 will be sent to the adder. Okay, and initially I told you this will be at A register will be at 0, and based on q0, if q0 is 1, m value will be sent, right, and added, and result will be, you can see that you can follow the path that the result is again sent back to A. Okay, so at the first iteration, end of it, your A register will be having the value of m, right, and m register will be m only, right, and q will also be q. Okay, then what we do is, before going to the next iteration, you can find that there is an operation of shift right. Okay, wherein this shift right operation, all these three are involved: the carry flag, the A register, and the Q register. All these values are involved, right? Where Q0 bit we have already tested. Okay, so we know the operation is over for Q0. Next required bit is Q1. Okay, so when you shift this entire registers 1 bit right, naturally Q1 has been loaded into Q0 now. Okay, and in the basic multiplication, we know that next bit we consider and then we add that value, right? And when we do this shifting, not only we are bringing Q1 to Q0, you can also see that the value in A0 is loaded in Qn minus 1, which will never be changed hereafter, will remain the same, because you can see that once the first iteration over, the partial product value P0 is generated. Okay, and all we need is simply keep it, right, without changing it. Okay, so this value, when you move it to Q, it will remain the same, right, and the addition, when you do in the next iteration, the addition will begin from the next place value rather than in the previous place value, right? So A0 you shifted here, right, and then again A1 must be here at this point of time, and when you go for adding, naturally you end up with the same process of adding the previous partial result value with A1 rather than with A0. Okay, because A0 you have shifted to Qn minus 1 position. Okay, so you are doing two things by doing the right shift. One is you are preserving the P0 value, and the other is you are making the addition at the next stage possible with the right place value. Okay, these two things have been achieved. Two things have been achieved here, right? So the shifting, at the end of the shifting, the carry bit will be there in A n minus 1. Okay, so when you add it, naturally you incorporate carry in the next stage. Okay, now what you get in the next iteration, what you get from Q0 is not going to be Q0, it is actually the original Q1 value. Okay, now that Q1 value will be taken by the control sequence and decide whether it should be addition or not, and that will be used as the control signal. In second.
Ma'am, excuse me, ma'am.
Yes,
Ma'am, Soumya got removed from the meeting, ma'am. It is because of that hotspot connection.
no. I removed. When I asked
No.
for response, whoever didn't respond, I removed. I
No,
informed.
ma'am. She had a hotspot problem. She was changing the networks.
When I question only, she will be changing. Why don't we deal with it later?
Okay, ma'am.
Right? Already we lost 10 minutes of this session. Okay. So now when in the second iteration, when you take the Q naught value, it is actually the Q1 value of the actual Q, right? So now based on that, it will decide whether again M should be given for addition or 0 should be given for addition. Okay. So if you have given the value of M or 0, then this place is always M or 0. Okay. And it will be added with the previous stage result. Okay. If previous stage, if Q naught was 1, then it will be M. If Q naught is 0, then it will be 0. Okay, that depends. So again, previous partial product added with the current value of M or 0, and again storing the value in A and storing the value of carry. Okay, so that completes the second round. Again, when you before going to the next round, what you do is you do the shifting, right? And when you do the shifting, naturally P naught will be the final product. P naught will be moved to the next stage, and at this stage it will be P1, and at this point of time here at Q naught we will be having Q2, right? So the same way entire process will continue till n iterations are over. Okay, clear in the mechanism? We will discuss one problem based on this, but before that just take 1 or 2 minutes, understand how the mechanism works, and then we go for doing a problem.
Ma'am, excuse me.
Yes, please.
The end results are going to be in Q and A register.
Yes,
So,
absolutely right.
so the Q will disappear, ma'am.
Yeah, Q is no more needed. No, Q is required only to know whether M should be added or 0 should be added at every iteration with the previous partial product. Okay, so end of it Q won't be there, right? What we will have is the lower order result in Q register and higher order result in M register. So 2 n bit registers are there and 2 n bits will be stored. Okay, and end of it we will not have the value of Q. If you want to have the reference, you can have it in some other memory location, and when you want to send it to some devices, output devices for reference, you can access from the memory location and send it. Within the ALU and the control unit, we may not have much storage like those informations. Understood?
Yes, ma'am. So 3 registers are enough.
Yeah, for this processing, only 3 registers are required. Okay. For again, when you start one more multiplication, you cannot even have these results here, right? This has to be moved again to the memory, right? And whenever you need the result, you will take it from there. Okay, we will not keep the registers inside the ALU and control unit occupied. Okay, only the current relevant information, whatever needed for processing, we keep it there. Remaining information we take out from there. As if you want to display immediately, you will display it. Otherwise, you will store it in the memory, and whenever required, you will take it and display the results, or use it in the next stage of calculation. Right?
Okay.
Clear? Yeah. So all of you understood the mechanism, how it works? Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So now when coming to the problem, we take the same example what we discussed there, right? M and Q value the same as this example, right? 13 and 11, right? We finally supposed to get the result as 1 0 0 and 4 ones supposed to be the result. Okay. Now initially I told you already M will be there in M register, Q will be loaded in Q register, and A will be 0, A and C will be 0. Okay, this is the initial stage, right, where M is there in M register, Q is there in Q register, A is initialized with zeros and C is also initialized with 0, right? This is the initial condition. If you change this condition, loading some other value in A and shifting all that, then your result will not be correct. Initial setting you have to do it right. Right? Now the first thing what we do, we check the value of Q naught, right? And based on Q naught, either we add M with the result, right? Based on the value of Q naught, either we add M with the A value, right? Either it will be A plus 0 or it will be A plus M. Okay. And what is Q naught here? Q naught is 1 here. So in that case, the addition will be A plus 0 or A plus M. Which addition we carry? A plus M. So addition is there. It is not no addition case. It's addition case, right? So what happens is Q naught is 1. So it is addition case, right? Where A and M has been added, and you can see that the result is 1 1 0 1 at this stage at A. Okay. So once addition over, next step is shift, right? So while shifting, you should remember C, A, Q all together should be shifted one position to the right. So you can see that Q1 has been shifted to Q naught, Q2 has been shifted to Q1, Q3 has been shifted to Q2, and A0 has been shifted to Q3, A1 has been shifted to A0, A2 has been shifted to A1, A3 has been shifted to A2, and C has been shifted to A3, and finally C is filled with 0. Okay, so all together one shift right has taken place. Are you clear with this? You first add and then shift. Then in the next iteration, again Q1 value is right now in Q naught. Okay, so again you check the Q naught value, right? And here Q naught is 1. Then again you go for adding A value with M value. This is the current A value and this is the M value. Now these two should be added as the first step in the next cycle. Okay. So I can see that the first operation is addition. So A and M is added, and resultant you can see that it is 1 1 0 1 in the first cycle. Then it is shift, and in the second cycle again the first operation is addition. Okay, so again A value and M value will be added, where current A value is this and current M value is this. When you add these two, 0 and 1 1, 0 and 1 1, 1 1 is 0 1, again 1 1 is 0 1. Okay, so the second cycle, first operation addition over. Once addition over, Again you go for shifting C value, M value and Q value together one bit right. Okay, and end of shifting you can see that there is a shifted value in A and Q. Again if you see here, Q naught right now is 0, so that means no add, right? Only 0 should be added. That means the A value will remain the same in the third cycle, right? So you can see that A value remains the same as the previous stage because this is no addition. Okay, then you go for shift alone, right? When you shift it, this is the value what you will be having in the A register and Q register. Then again if you check it, Q naught is 1 here, then fourth cycle it is addition case. Okay, so you go for adding this A value with the M value, right? And you get the result as 0001 and 4 ones. Then you have to go for shifting, only then the complete operation, it completes the operation. So when you shift it, the result you get is 1000041. Okay, so if you observe the Q value itself, you can make clear that first cycle will be addition, second cycle will be addition, third cycle will be no addition, and fourth cycle will be addition. Okay, now when you add it as well as when you shift it, you should not make any mistake, then you will get your answer right. Your system will not make any mistake once you have designed it right, but when you do it manually, you should not make any mistakes. Okay, so this is the multiplier using the sequential circuit. How it works, right? Whatever the design we have given, how it works has been explained here, right? You can go through, you can work it out and then clear it if you have any doubt at any stage, right? After you work it out, you are clear with that, we can discuss. When you work it out, if you don't understand any step, clarify it and then work out. And what we discuss here is only the overall functionality, right? When you start designing, a lot of details has to be put in your designing. Have you people done working out? Whatever is there only for your better understanding, I have asked you to work. Is somebody respond? At least what, even if not completed fully, or with up to what cycle you have done.
Yes, ma'am, completed.
Okay. What about Shiv Kailash? Shiv Kailash, are you there? Shiv Kailash.
Hello, ma'am.
How many times I have to call you?
Oh, sorry. Yes, ma'am. Tell me.
Completed or not the given problem?
Ma'am, I'm doing, ma'am. That's what I'm doing. Not
Doing.
finished.
Okay. Okay, it's anyway 12 o'clock. You people complete it before you come for the next session. That's tomorrow, second hour. Right, and you have any doubt before we start next day discussion, you can raise it. Okay, you need not keep it till the end of the session. Right, you can raise your questions. If not clear at any stage, we can discuss and then go into the next session tomorrow. Okay,
Okay,
thank you
ma'am.
guys. Take care. Bye all.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.